So just a few simple words for today's theme. An ordered inner and outer relationship. So in other words, when we have an inner relationship, it means that we have a relationship with what's going on in our center, a sense of stability, a sense of calmness, a sense of focus. When we have an outer relationship, it means we have our eyes open, are looking into the space around us. We receive the breath fully and freely from the space around us. We're able to expand more freely, more out, stretch out and open out more. So we want to have a relationship between this inner centering and this outer openness. And that's going to be our theme for this morning. Let's start in the standing position. And to get that sense of inwardness, drawing inward, you can bring your legs together. You can tighten a bit in this pelvic region here. You can also become aware of your spine. Your spine is your central axis, and that should have an ability to really lengthen. You should feel yourself growing. This outer relationship can come with the arm movement. You can take your arms widely out into the space around you. So we're drawn inwards in our center. We're moving freely through the space around. Also, the outer relationship is connected with full free breath. Let's just do a few of these movements with that idea. Inner and outer. Inner centering, gathering in stability. Outer openness, freedom, relaxation. So let the breath flow fully and freely from that outer space. Both these elements are important, that inner centering that gives us stability, that outer openness which helps us to expand and grow. And they both help each other, they both support each other and work in a good balance. And take the hands down. Let's bend forwards. Keeping the feet well centered, drawn together, the upper body just hanging, relaxed. And then back up to an openness again, drawn together inwardly. Full free breath, expanding, connecting us with the outside. And take the hands down. Let's come into the sun prayer. Take the hands together. Take the arms up. Grow from your solar plexus. Bend forwards. Take the right foot back. Grow into the back leg. And open up to the outside. Come into the plank. Knees, chest and forehead down. Slide along the ground, open into the cobra. Push into the downward dog. Take the right foot forward. Open up into the half moon. Left foot forward. Come up and grow. And take the hands down. Hands together. Growing from the middle, streaming up. Come forwards again. Left foot back. Half moon. Plank. Knees, chest and forehead down. Cobra. Downward dog. left foot forward, half moon, right foot forward, standing half moon, and take the hands down. So let's build up our theme a little bit more. We have an ordered relationship between the inner centering and the outer openness. Let's draw our legs together and really gather this kind of centered feeling in the pelvis. And then let's find a good stretch and active openness as we come up into the half moon. We'll do the same cycle a little bit more slowly this time, so that we can focus more on that centering on the one hand and that real opening on the other. Let's come forwards and look in. Take the right foot back. Now we're going to grow actively with the legs, and there is a centering happening in this pelvic region. Take the arms up, but keep the fingers really light and keep the breath really open and free. We've got a centering in the pelvis, openness with the breath as we expand in the solar plexus region. Come into the plank, firm straight line, more centered in this one. Take the knees down, forehead and chest down, arching your back, slide along the ground. Now try and keep the legs together and firm and tight and centered in, but open with your chest. Make sure the breath is free, you're looking outwards. Now we'll come into the downward dog, lengthening right through the spine, lifting your hips up as much as you can, and take the right foot forward. Grow into both legs, particularly the back leg, so you feel that tightening, centering feeling happening in the pelvic region. Once again, lifting the rib cage as you open out and let the breath flow fully and freely. And then forwards again, looking in. And come right the way up once again, drawn legs together, bringing a centered feeling, and with the upper body a real openness and expansion. Hands down. So when we're talking about this centering and opening, very often we can have a sense of centering in with the legs and the pelvis, whereas an opening out with the upper body, the solar plexus, the arms, the breath, the chest, the head. Let's do it once again, hands together. So the legs draw in with that more centered feeling. The upper body expands and opens out with full free breath. And then come forwards and look in. Take the left foot back. Grow into that back leg. Tightening in the legs and the pelvis. Opening and growing. Right up. And then the plank. Knees, chest and forehead down. Slide along the ground, open into the cobra. So the tightened pelvis, anchored sacrum, opens chest. Come into the downward dog. Good length. Left foot forward, growing into your back leg, tightening again in the pelvis. Lifting and opening the rib cage, flowing up through the arms to the fingers, full free breath. And then come forwards and look in. Come right the way up, breathing freely, growing The legs are drawn together. The middle of the body is stretched upwards and opened. And take the hands down. So we're going to come to the triangle to the side, not the one I was talking about that we'll do at the end, but a different one that's done in a balance. And this one has a good focus on the leg dynamic, which starts at the sacrum and moves out through the legs. So we'll just build up that leg dynamic first, and that means we step onto one foot, keeping the hips open out sideways and push out strongly into that leg. So there's a real centering activity from here, a real contraction and movement outwards. If you'd like to do this, just keep the upper body relaxed. Return again. Change sides, so you take one foot to point out sideways and you keep your hips open, so you're not facing over that leg, you're facing out sideways. Take the weight onto that foot, have a good lift out of your pelvis and push out through the leg. The upper body stays relaxed, the neck stays relaxed, shoulders relaxed, breathing freely. And come back again. So just in this simple preparatory movement, we can get a very good sense of this contrast of inner centering, which happens here with that leg movement, and outer freedom and openness. We want to keep the head and the neck and the shoulder area really free and relaxed, as if you're almost kind of floating in the air. Just have another look. I'm not sure if you can see on the screen clearly, but the idea is that we're really strong in that leg activity. There's a real tightening in here, and then this upper body gives a complete contrast. The arms are just relaxed, the shoulders, the neck, the head, a complete gentle kind of calm serenity in the upper part of the body, and a real strong centering in the lower part. Let's do it again on each side. So make sure the hips are open. Step onto one leg, really tighten. Raise the other leg. Just keep that very natural, free movement of breath. Relax shoulders and arms. Return again. You should feel a distinct contrast between the lower and upper halves of the body. Change the feet around. Step onto the foot that's pointed outwards. Lift up out of your pelvis as you grow into the raised leg. Relax the upper body, the arms, the hands, chest and shoulders and neck. Breathing lightly and gently. And then return again. So have a look at the actual position. I'm not going to talk while I do it because I will lose my balance, but it's the same principle. What I'm going to do is come right into the position with the hand to the floor and then push the leg actively upwards. There's a strong activity coming from here through this leg that's going to move outwards, and the upper body now has the hands supporting on the floor, but nonetheless we try and keep calm and relaxed in the head and shoulder region. So I'll demonstrate. Really push strongly into that leg. And just keep the upper body more relaxed. So taking one foot to point outwards, keeping the hips open. Take the weight onto the pointed foot and come all the way into the movement. And now lift your leg up as high as you can, right up, push it from the pelvic region. Imagine it starts at your sacrum or your pelvis and is pushed right up in a diagonal line towards the ceiling. Upper body staying relaxed. Come back again. So when we raise the leg, we mustn't think of it just starting from the hip, because you won't get your leg very high. If we think of it as starting higher up, you've got an extra 6 inches of leg. You can raise it much further up. So think of your leg as actually starting up here at your sacrum. All of that bit is part of your leg. Imagine that. Take the other foot to point out sideways. Step onto that pointed foot, keeping the hips open. And then when you're ready, come right into the position. Once you're in the position, think once again of your legs starting right from the region of the sacrum and pushing right up through. Right up through its length. Breath flowing. Face relaxed. And then return again. Quite a difficult position, this one. Let's do it once again. So make a plan this time that you're going to, by tightening in here even more, you're going to take your leg higher up than it did last time. And also make a plan that your face is going to stay relaxed. Your shoulders, this arm, the one that's not on the floor, just rests on your leg. Upper body is relaxed. Let's do it once again on each side. Take a step out sideways. Just pause to make sure that your breath is free, your shoulders and head are free, and then come right into the position. And now the leg has to grow higher than it did last time, starting from the sacrum, not from the hip. The face, shoulders and arms stay relaxed. Return again. Change the feet around. Make sure the breath is free. Step onto the pointed foot and pause again to really get that relaxation in the upper body. Outer openness, outer calmness, the right free relationship to the outside. When you're ready, come into the position. Push powerfully into that raised leg, starting from the sacrum, and keep the face, the shoulders, the neck really relaxed. An ordered inner and outer relationship. Return again. So we're going to come to some twisting movements. Let's move my mat forwards a little bit. This is an exercise that gives us a sense of the three-dimensional space around us. So, and we have that sense of inner and outer as we do these movements. We take the arms inwards, and as we twist, we take them outwards. As we center, we take them in, and as we twist, we take them out. So we can do this about 3 times on each side. And the important thing is just to stay with this awareness. As we open the arms and twist out sideways, we feel ourselves really integrated into that space outside us. As we center and take the arms in, it gives us an awareness of our own inner centeredness. You can let the breath naturally follow the movements, whatever comes naturally, but do be aware of your breathing. So As you twist, you open outwards. As you center, you take the hands inwards, right into the heart center. As you twist, you open them, you spread your arms right out, sideways. Spread them out, that's it, as you open. And then as you close, as you straighten up, you take the arms in. As you open them right, you spread your arms out as you twist sideways. So you really get that feeling of sort of smooth, gentle closing and then opening. You can feel yourself opening to your surroundings, closing to your center. Okay, and take the hands down. So for the triangle position, you need to have a good wide distance between your feet, firm, stable triangle. And let's start by becoming aware of this threefold structure, which again combines different qualities. Firm stability with the base of the legs, active opening here in this rib cage area and solar plexus. You can really lift up in that area. And then with the arms, a free sense of light open space. Take the arms up and right up now into this pyramid position, right up high. Just letting your breath flow. And continuing to grow. And take the hands down again. Just roll down and hang forwards. And come back up once again. So our theme today is an ordered inner and outer relationship. We could imagine that the inner in this one is represented by the spine. We want to be really supported by the spine, and we want to be free to move outwards. Let's do the pyramid again with that thought. The spine is supporting us inwardly as our central axis. The arms, on the other hand, open outwardly. Full free breath. The face is relaxed, the eyes are open, the breath is full and free, the rib cage expands. We're opening to the space around us while at the same time being supported by the spine as our central axis. Inner and outer order. Take the hands down through that open surrounding space. Once again, roll down and hang forwards. And come up once again. So as we build up towards doing the full triangle, we can now do it raising one arm, and we can stay with our same theme. We're really supported from the spine, but as we grow, we start to feel more openness along the side here. So this counts as, if you like, our interface with the outside. We're really stretching that rib cage and feeling it being very open to the outside. But we want to feel that in our center, in our core, we have a good strength in our spine, through the center of the abdomen as well, in the pelvis here. Our whole central core is strong, but the outside, which is more this open part, is free to stretch and grow. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So it really is a lengthening. It's not just a bending, but supported by this strong core. We feel that open stretch, open rib cage, open side, lengthening and lengthening more and more. and come back again. So I'm going to demonstrate the actual triangle. This is the one that I mentioned at the start, that if you tend to have issues with your lower back, this movement right over to the side can put a bit more load on the lower back, so you need to be careful with that, and you might decide it's best just to stay in the vertical plane with the movement we've just done. I'll demonstrate the full movement first, and once again we can have this idea that you have a strong inner core. There's a real growing right up through your centre, through your spine, and that is what supports this very strong openness outwards. So we're open here and we're moving out into that space beyond with the hand, and we'll flow dynamically from one side to the other, but you can see there's a very active stretching and strengthening that supports you. So if you prefer, you can just stay in the vertical plane. Take the arms up, take one arm to the side, and everyone should really grow, and then if you feel that it's right for you to come into the horizontal plane, do so, coming right the way out, and then coming back to the centre again, and now lifting, strength in the centre, and freedom to really open and grow out into that space beyond you. We're going to do it twice more on each side, so with each repetition we can grow a bit farther if possible, growing actively through your central core and moving outwards into the open space. Full free breath. An ordered inner and outer relationship. Lifting, streaming and reaching far out. Breath flowing. One more time on each side. Far up into the stretch and far out into the distance, into the space, expanding, and change sides again. And return again. Take the hands down, roll down and hang forwards. And come back up once again to the standing position. And we'll finish with a very simple gesture that expresses this relationship between inner centeredness and outer vastness, if you like, outer openness. Take your legs together once again in this very drawn, closed position, and we'll do a movement called the wide circle, the wide open circle. Big, free, expanding movements with the arms, while the legs have that centered drawing together. So our theme today was an ordered relationship between inner and outer. And this is something we can take into life, that we feel on the one hand centered and gathered and focused, on the other hand open, expansive and free. And then take the hands down and relax. And we'll finish the session there.